Hello and welcome to We're Late. Photography Out Loud. My name's Paul Davis, and as always, I'm joined with Joel Longbone, and I can point in the right direction now. Oh no, hold on, Joel Longbone. It's not the same if I'm not pointing in the right direction. So thank you very much for joining us. It's great to be back in the same room.
It is. Is it? I don't know. We'll soon find out.
And what's that dunk there? Turn down here. I love how we're doing a live stream on live streaming.
Puts, evening, guys. Do you need a watch? Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah. We are late. Yeah.
What's this?
Just get rid of that as well. There we go. So thank you very much for joining us. Yes, today we are doing a live stream on live streaming.
Yeah.
So, and we're late.
And this illustrates how live streaming setup can cause you to be late.
Yeah, and I think we really wanted to do our journey that sort of we've gone through as well. So like as we've started and sort of where we have been over the last year and what we've been doing. We have had a couple of people sort of ask us, how do you do what you guys do? Well, no one can do what we do, but as far as the technical side of things is concerned.
If you just talk nonsense about photography.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
You've got an instant semi-popular online show. So, but no, the technical side of things. So we're going to talk about some of those things.
Yeah.
But first of all, Joel, how's your week been?
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's vanished again. It's been good.
Yeah. Has it been anything sort of?
I did a live stream funeral at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
That was an interesting way to start the week.
And then also we've got like other live stream stuff going on. And it's why we've got a little bit more kit as well and how we're getting into
Upping our production.
But so
how about you?
Obviously live streaming is getting very popular. Me, what have I done this week? What did I do that was
just watch Netflix?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So
he doesn't really just do Netflix.
Did I do anything?
Sarah, he does more than just watch Netflix, don't worry.
I don't think I did anything. Yeah, it was just work, wasn't it, this week for me? Nothing that's sort of stuck in my brain. So this is where I want
you just see numbers a lot, don't you?
So yeah. So but again, it was nice to see customers come into the store and stuff like that. So
it was. And reps.
Yeah, and reps.
So
we're starting to see a little bit more reps come through, which is nice.
For sure.
Get to see some of the new products, things like that.
I feel like we should be.
Oh, what are you doing now? You've forgotten so yeah, that's you're spoiling the show a bit, really, aren't you?
I'm just trying to show intrigue.
You've just seen buttons, and you're
they're lit up.
Yeah, you just want to push them, don't you? More than anything. This is where you break it. So
okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
let's cut a bit faster.
Yeah, turn the cut off. There we go. So the news, Joel. So what's been interesting in the news this week?
Not a huge amount. There's not really been anything released apart from Leica.
Yeah, there's been a couple of Leica lenses.
And the M10R black paint.
Yeah.
Which is just going to be a lot of money for a camera that's black.
Yeah. Obviously, we've got the Panasonic, the R5M2 has been sort of announced as well, which we knew about already, but it's been put on the official sort of list as things coming out as well. So hopefully we'll be getting that on the website soon, so you can place pre-orders.
Yeah, Paul. And then Instagram, incidentally, have now made it possible for you to put pictures on via your desktop.
I know, and I think
which is just going to mean that everybody's Lightroom catalog ends up on Instagram.
Do you think so? Are you pro the desktop thing, or did you quite like the whole idea that you could only upload it through the?
I like the fact that potentially there was less going on Instagram because people had to work harder to get it there.
Yeah.
Like you either had to use AirDrop or email it to yourself and then put it on, which I think probably helped filter out some of the stuff that didn't need to be on Instagram.
Okay.
Potentially. But potentially we might see even more amazing things because people can edit better and they can put stuff on there that perhaps they couldn't get onto their phone, or they're just not into their phones in the same way as like the desktops, and the whole workflow especially for professionals who use Instagram to market themselves and their work, then I'm sure it would make their life a lot easier from that.
I think it's going to give amateurs a bit of better chance to get their work sort of out there more than anything, I think.
I just hope people are still careful about what they put on it, i.e. not going, oh, I've got 10 shots. Originally, you might have only put one on through the app, and now they'll put all 10 up, and you think it's probably not as good.
So like the quality level is sort of, you know, as you're flicking through things, it's still quite a high standard,
like
isn't it?
It's like people with websites, and they think, well, everybody else's website's got 100 pictures on it. I'm going to have 100 pictures. In actual fact, probably 20 pictures is enough. And be really, really focused about it, and your work will actually look better rather than you just trying to fill the gaps. And I don't think that's helpful for photographers.
Yeah.
I think, you know, curate your work like you would an exhibition. Like you wouldn't do an exhibition, for example, in here and just put up every image you've ever shot. There'd be like a sense to it. There'd be a curation to it. There'd be a choice and a filtering of it. And I think that's important.
I think some of that is gonna stay with Instagram because it's more of a photography based platform, isn't it? So where, you know, we do see a little bit of it on, you know, like things like over the social media platforms and stuff on Facebook. It's a case of where, you know, we just upload sort of everything. And I think, you know, I see some of these pictures and I flick through them and go, actually, that's a really nice photo. But I've kind of been like, it's sort of led up to it. So it hasn't had that sort of wow factor. It's going, oh, that's good. That's great. But I'm not going, wow, because I've seen two good, one great, and I'm looking at another good one. So
let's just hope people don't edit and then put a filter on afterwards in Instagram as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. And that's proving.
Where's that emoji?
Yeah,
sick.
Each to their own, more than anything. Each to their own, isn't it?
That one. That's the emoji.
Yeah. Oh, the sick one.
This one.
That you can do the button push, Joel. And I know it's probably a bit too small, isn't it?
Yeah. No.
So, so Instagram putting on pictures on the desktop.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Life changing for some.
Yeah.
Other people won't give a monkeys.
I say I'm going to use it more. I probably won't. So
do you use Instagram that much?
No.
Just when you get the, I should be using Instagram more.
I think so, more than anything. So
I've got a drone to play with. I'll put pictures on and video on.
Basically, yeah. And then I get bored of the drone.
2 months later, nothing.
Oh, you called
Classic.
it. You called it. Should we go to the comments before we dig into our journey of
live streaming?
So
Trish, like I said earlier, said, "Evening, guys. Do you need a watch?"
Yep. I did start the video with "Hello, we are late."
Yeah, and then Ian says, "Evening, guys. Joel, you can set an alarm on your watch. I do as a reminder." Why am I getting the blame for us being late? He's equally as.
I absolutely love the fact that people think that I'm on time.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
Oh, dear.
And you're the late one.
Yeah, rude. Might be potentially true about some things. Michael says, "Afternoon, guys. I'm being battered by rain here in northeast Wales, Loch near Holywell." Yes, it is definitely precipitating quite firmly at the moment.
That's how I filled my water cup just before I came in.
He washed his hair as well.
Yeah.
Just says, "Are we supposed to be getting loads of feedback?" And then she says, "Ignore my message, sorted at my end. But please let us know if the audio isn't good or the lighting's not good or there's any other technical issues."
Oh dear.
Just let us know.
If we are getting, if the sound doesn't sound right, just let us know.
We have, with this funky gadget, more control over.
And we've recently replaced some other things as well. So we test things live.
Yeah, exactly. Ian says, "No, Joel, just couldn't see Paul's watch." So by that logic, you should have said, "Paul, get a watch." But yes, I do set a reminder.
Internal clock, mate.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it still on like British, like standard time?
Oh, an hour late.
Like GMT, not BST. And Tina says, "Hello there, you two." Hello, good to see you. And Sarah says, "The lighting is better this week." Oh, that's good.
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty. Oh, I'm going to say it.
Oh.
Whether you want to or not, or whether you want to chip in or not, it's up to you. But last week, amazing James came in, and I don't think we did him justice.
Oh no, definitely not.
There was it's like I planned it. Audio problems.
Well, we were trying.
We were,
because we have 2 sets of the wireless microphones. So we tried using him on one and then us 2 on the other.
I want to make 2 apologies. So
to James.
One to James for not delivering you at your
also
peak
you had to experience us shoving everything together
as well.
We were putting together because we'd just got this last week.
It was literally the day
we were trying
that we
to figure
it.
everything out. So.
Yeah. So, and also an apology to everyone watching for last week as well. So, because it was really good content, but it just wasn't quite enjoyable because we didn't do our jobs right. So, apologies for that. So,
we both take responsibility for that.
Okay.
Not like the timekeeping, which apparently I'm taking responsibility for.
Okay, if you want to take responsibility
I'm not, because you're just as culpable. You were running off to the toilet at the same time.
So yeah, from the streaming sort of disaster, what was last week? I mean, we've been streaming.
Well, disaster might be strong, given the fact that we still had visual and audio.
Okay.
A disaster would be
okay.
not having anything.
It doesn't go on. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't great.
Whatever is one level down from complete and utter disaster.
But we've been streaming now, I would say, for probably 3.5 years. Easily.
3.5 years?
Yeah, because we started live streaming on Facebook, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. On the phone.
Yeah.
Then we moved to gimbal.
No, but this is part of our journey.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing,
I've not really thought about that.
The first thing that we needed to do was we just needed to get it done. Yeah. And I think, and this almost does a little bit to, why we're trying to push forward with some of the equipment that we've got here today as well.
So our original camera person was Sarah.
Yeah.
On her phone.
Yeah, it would have been.
Shout out to Sarah, the camera person OG.
Again, Sarah is, the heartbeat of everything that happens here, but was really pushing for, going on live. It was very difficult because the other thing which I'm going to talk about sort of as we go on as well is like building up that confidence to be on camera.
Yeah.
So
audio.
And audio. Yeah.
And then because obviously Sarah's trying to hold it and the videos might have been longer than like a few minutes. They might have run on a bit longer. So it's hard to hold a camera or a phone for more than a few minutes without shaking.
100%.
There's a reason tripods were invented and gimbals.
Yeah, they're there to keep things steady, aren't they? Yeah. So we originally started on literally Sarah's phone, Sarah's iPhone, just going straight to live.
Other phones are capable, like Android.
And nowadays it's so easy. You literally open up things like your Facebook app or YouTube app, and you can be live streaming. And the thing is that if you're interested in live streaming, the first thing that you want to do is you just want to start doing it, don't you? So if
what do they call it? Minimum viable product.
Yeah. And
just get it done and see.
For us, it was Sarah pushing that forward for us. It was Sarah saying, a product would come in, and
should rope in the reps.
Yeah, rope in the reps.
Are like, what is this Facebook
and
Live?
It would be, Sarah saying, Paul, jump on camera, do this, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know, and I don't this, and once again, that confidence building up to be on camera, and that's why we needed like once a month, because it would be me sort of going, oh, I don't want to do it, and then.
Is that why you grew a beard?
Yeah, to hide behind.
Just bring back the emo.
Yeah, I tried it, didn't I? But I got flack off Craig on this for it, so I have to start pushing it back again. So thanks for that, Craig, if you're watching. Just get a thumbs up in a minute, won't I? So, so it's all about sort of starting that, and you can almost take that with anything that you do. If you want to get into videography, just start doing it. If you want to get into photography,
you've got. Like most cameras, definitely most smartphones will have some sort of ability. And ultimately, just being able to record some sort of video, whether it's HD or not, or 4K or not, it doesn't really matter, because a video is a video no matter what quality it is.
100%.
Because it's like a camera's a camera no matter what the quality is. Obviously, you can start spending more and working on your technical skills to improve it, but the storytelling side of video doesn't change.
Yeah.
Obviously, a bigger camera might impact if you're carrying it around, or a smaller one might impact if you're trying to stabilize it on a tripod if you don't have a holder, all those sorts of things. But ultimately, storytelling is way more important than the gear.
Yeah.
And whether you can chat nonsense or chat sense in a way that other people want to watch, like those are the two key parts, I think, of live streaming. And well, even if you're doing a pretty dry production of, oh, this is a new box that has buttons on it, you've got to tell the story, otherwise people won't bother watching. Doesn't matter if that's in 8K and you're as dull as dishwater. Or if people can't hear you. Hence why audio is just as important as video.
Yeah.
Better to run at like standard definition and have really good audio rather than it sounding like you're in an egg cup over there in the corner. Like, 100%. Sound awful. 100%. Which is what was frustrating about last week. Because James's voice didn't come through as well.
And he's got great voice as well. So it's just
and he's very knowledgeable as well.
So, but yeah, and just start building that confidence online, actually doing it. So, you know, you may just go back and look at our videos that we did, you know, the way that we are both now. Joel, I don't know whether you've developed too much on camera. I think you actually took it quite well. So you've just been at like 100% from like out the gate.
Well, I kind of did that one with Tina Hogg with the Peak Design bag. Like
but I think if you look back at like me on camera,
speaking a lot,
I suppose. Yeah.
Since I was quite young.
Yeah.
So that probably
I think maybe that's where it comes from. But I think if we take like me, for example, so if we go back in time and have a look at...
Is this like an appraisal of your ability as being on camera now?
No, I think it's more of a progression. If someone isn't feeling as confident as they should be, you can, not that I'm any better on camera now, but it's a case of, you know, just seeing confidence build online. So if you go back to some of the earlier videos and you can see that sort of confidence build up and build up.
Also, it's just getting used to it, isn't it? Like, all back to the analogies. Like cooking, you're very good at cooking.
I thought you were going to do car.
You're very good at cooking, aren't you?
Yeah,
you love cooking, but you weren't always really good at it. I'm sure there's plenty of things that went into the food recycling bin.
Yeah, which
not
is
into
my
the bin. Just whatever it doesn't matter what it tastes like. But like that took time, didn't it? Like, and you became passionate about it, and then your passion drove your ability. And I think that's the same with if you can find a topic that you're excited about. Like if somebody started asking me about flower arranging on live video, I probably wouldn't be that passionate about it.
You two are very good on like doing camera stuff because you do like an hour segment on flower arranging.
We probably could do it, but it'd make no sense. And it would just be us trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And not succeeding. This is an orange flower. This is a red flower. But and then, okay, with driving then.
Okay.
When you first get in a car and you've never driven before, you're like, what on God's green earth is going on here? What are all those pedals, buttons?
Oh, you may not even enjoy it at the beginning.
It can be quite scary. And also, driving's one of those things where you could actually hurt someone or yourself quite significantly if you get it wrong.
We say hopefully that we can't hurt someone on here.
Well, not unless they're watching it whilst they're driving their car or they're cutting their onions very finely and they slice their finger off. I don't know. I don't think this is as dangerous. But you have to build up that confidence. Yeah. And like the way that you drive now, and you've only been past a couple of years, versus when like you first started, like it's miles different. Like even parking.
Yeah. Also, like, well, Sarah won't get a car on me now, will she? So.
Brake.
Oh,
so and that's the thing, is it? Like the gear is great, and we love gear, so we'll always be interested in it. We're getting more and more into audio. Probably you're learning a bit more because I've been doing audio for a while.
I'm learning a lot on audio.
But like lighting is one of your loves, and like that comes into it massively. It doesn't matter how good your camera is unless it's like an A7S III and you don't need light on.
Yeah.
But like light influences the image massively. But finding something passionate, and then the gear, and then also just like it's easy. I think it would be more difficult for just one of us to be on camera.
I think so.
Talking. It'd take on a different dynamic, wouldn't it? But like the two of us is one thing, and then like adding James, or like we've had Gary or Gareth or Wanda or whoever it is.
Again, we've found our thing, haven't we?
Yeah. And then that also, like different people help us in different ways. Like talking to Angela from She Clicks, she's very knowledgeable about gear as well. probably more knowledgeable than us in some
100%.
instances because she's been using it and she gets to speak to the manufacturers and things like that. But then you speak to somebody like Wanda who's very creative and maybe like she knows a lot about cameras, but more about Canon gear, for instance.
Yeah.
And then you speak to like Gary, for instance, and he's like very much about the wildlife side of things. So there's all different way, and then it's just like that conversation. And then Nick Livesey, who we had, like, he didn't give a flying monkeys what camera he's using, really. Like, he's all about creating the image that he sees, and he's planned and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's different attitudes to photography all the way around, and that's what drives the conversation, isn't it? Like, it's no good putting somebody to speak to us and they don't like photography.
Yeah.
Perhaps, unless we can like draw out a conversation. But if somebody's not going to talk, it doesn't matter how good your camera is, how good your audio is, how good your lighting is. It doesn't even matter how good that you are at storytelling. If you're trying to make a story out of somebody who doesn't want to give you a story, there's a few Formula One racing drivers who are renowned for not particularly being good at interviewing because they just don't want to do it.
I saw, we digress a little bit now, so I apologize, but I was seeing on the interweb, as you do, you browse, don't you? You come across videos, and I saw
black hole that is the internet.
black hole that is the internet, of like interviewing people that are renowned for not giving good interviews, and it was like actors and like asking the wrong questions, and like it's now terrified me for the next person that comes on here now. Just because, like, if you ask the wrong question.
Oh, I see.
So, and then it all goes horribly wrong. So, but there we go.
I'm trying to think of some questions. I'm thinking, could I ask you a question?
I think it was things like, people in the Avengers, it's like skin tight clothing that they wear. And like they constantly get asked of what underwear they were wearing and stuff like that. Just really inappropriate.
Who
and then
cares?
Exactly, and that's what they turned around and said. So I think as long as you're asking sensible questions.
Paul, what hair products do you use?
Well, strange you should ask that. Head over into my other channel, which is I ain't got any other channels.
Paul just doing this.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. But I mean, going back to the sort of the gear side of things, so we started on the phones, then we quickly found that we could improve the video side of things with simply using a gimbal.
Yep.
Okay. And
if use a DJI Osmo gimbal.
And obviously if we were prepared, we would bring it out here and show you, but we never prepare anything. So things, and there's loads of them available now, isn't there? So the DJI,
We've got the Xeon Smooth.
Yeah, the Xeon Smooth is absolutely brilliant. So there's absolutely loads of different phone holders.
They're really not that expensive.
No.
Anymore.
So you can get them from about £49. If you head up into that £100 bracket, which gets you into the Xeon and the thing, I mean, they just become so much more enjoyable to use.
And they've got more powerful motors. So if you've got bigger
phones or if you want to potentially start putting things on it,
like a microphone or a light, then definitely the stronger ones. And I think that's obviously leading back. That's why coming to us, for instance, we would go through all of these options with you rather than you kind of buying in the dark, essentially. Kind of being like, I don't know what I'm buying. I'm just going to buy it. Oh, it's not the right one. I can't be bothered sending it back, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
and then you put off by the whole thing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So
gear should never get in the way.
No. And you thought that you want to do this. You think that it's fun. And then you've bought the wrong thing and it's absolutely killed that hobby for you as well.
And you just spent like a couple £100 on stuff you don't really need.
And it kills the hobby as well. So getting good advice is
100%.
really quite important, isn't it?
Definitely.
So, pardon me. And another big thing that obviously massively improved what we were doing was improving the sound, wasn't it?
Mm.
So, which was very, very fortunate that it came really in time. Ooh. My apologies. So when we start thinking about sound, is that the Saramonic Blinks came out at the same time,
and the Rode Wireless goes.
Yeah, and the Rode Wireless,
because that was when we first went into lockdown.
It was a bit before because we did have Saramonic before. So I think we ran for about maybe 3 months before everything.
Long?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But it was the what cameras? One. Why is that?
No, you just have to be patient, man. Okay. No, it's gonna come. Just wait.
Hey,
What have you done?
I haven't done anything. I love how we're doing a live streaming on live streaming, and
You busted.
right. So we've broken the. It's because you're on there, isn't it?
Behave, it's not my fault. Look, it's not even on there.
Right. Okay. So, oh well, we're just not going to be able to do. Are we actually still streaming? Yes, we are. Right, brilliant. So that doesn't work. So I was going to show you this thing on the overhead specifically that we set up so we could do things like that.
Which is why we were partly late.
But also as well, another little note to when you do go live, things go happen. Just carry on, and it'll be absolutely fine. Won't it, Joel?
Yeah.
So we had the original versions of the Saramonic. Now these are the Saramonic Pros, which we're going to talk a little bit on about sort of later on. But we found that these were so incredible and easy to use. So they transmit the sound data through the conventional wireless signal, don't they? So which means that they can use the channel selection. It happens automatically. And it enables Are you still pushing buttons? Oh dear. Well, at least we're figuring stuff out.
It just doesn't like it. It's useful.
But the main thing is really just switch them on and go. And it's probably why the Rode called it the wireless go, is because you can literally just switch them on and go. And though these are quite pricey things, the Saramonics, just the standards now start at that sort of 169 mark. But if you're doing any sort of vlogging work, especially outdoor where you've got a lot of ambient sound sort of kicking in, being able to put a lapel sort of mic on and have that really nice sort of smooth sound.
Or like what we've done at live streams for funerals, for instance, is that you can clip them on without the lapel part.
Yeah.
And so you can just give it to them when you arrive, and then they can just pull it off, and they don't have to run it like through clothing or anything like that.
So they can just clip on and go. And so that's the Saramonic or the Rode.
That's what Saramonic should have called it. Instead of the blink, they should have the clip on and go.
Clip on and go. Don't know about that one, Joel.
It's not as cool as the Rode one. But...
No. So yeah, we progressed into sort of improving our sound, and then obviously, the one thing that did come out of lockdown for us was potentially improving, our
everything,
our quality. And I think it started with when we had Lewis round before lockdown. So we tried to do one way of doing it through using a Canon camera and then using it through OBS. So we did actually manage to do it through that way. It didn't work quite well. It's still on there. So I think if you go back about 2 years, it's on there sort of.
Why did we do that?
We wanted to improve it. We wanted to get that sort of depth of field look in the background.
Because we were talking to him?
I think so. And we wanted sort of both. So we wanted to do a little bit more. But then we very quickly found a piece of software, and it has been, well, it's not software.
Well, software as a service.
Okay.
SaaS.
Okay.
It's a platform.
It's a platform. Okay, we'll go with
broadcasting
platform.
platform for live
broadcasting platform for live streaming. Which I don't think we've ever given a shout out. Actually, we probably have. We've mentioned it.
Yeah, we definitely mentioned it to all our interviewees.
Yeah, and
participant guests.
Some people have even started using it themselves. So I mean, the platform that we're currently using it now is StreamYard. And
shout out to StreamYard. We love StreamYard
because
most of the time.
What enables us to do is not only we just log in like we're logging into what everyone knows now as logging into Zoom or logging into any.
It's even more than that, isn't it? You just go, here's the link.
Yeah. So
you don't even have to put the password in. Or anything, do you?
So it's really, really easy to do. Obviously, you do have to have. I would recommend going through a computer. It will work through your phones, but it's again, sketchy. Joel's gone through his phone a couple of times. When you're at Brennick, you went through your phone on it, so it does work. But we do recommend going through. And then essentially what it does is that it just uses a webcam. So I've used the webcam on your camera, which Joel has done for the past
too
long. Nice to have you back on the proper camera.
Yeah, how did you end up with a proper camera? And you ended up with a nice background. I had
Yeah, I
some
did,
horrible wood chip behind me.
So it's basically, it just uses a webcam.
Well, and again, because of COVID, Fuji, Panasonic, Nikon, Canon, Sony,
Everyone.
basically,
have
produced webcam software of some
100%.
form or another. So if you've got a fairly recent mirrorless or DSLR, plug it in and it essentially just becomes a webcam straight away. Normally there's a bit of firmware update or a bit of software that runs on your computer, but very easy to do. And I was running the Fujifilm XS2. 10. XS10. Flipping it.
Did you say Fujifilm?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I made sure of it. I don't want to do any presses.
Rich will be after us.
And that works really well.
Yeah, no, it did. So, and that made things an awful lot easier nowadays, is that you can use a platform service, which I believe some of them are free now as well. So
StreamYard's free, isn't it? If you're happy to have advertising.
So you can use that, and then
also you're only allowed to stream to one thing, whereas we can stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
So you can do things like that, and it makes it really, really easy to use. Again, probably a lot easier than even logging into Facebook or YouTube and just doing it that way as well. So actually using a platform that is designed to live stream, and then again,
and live stream in the way that makes it easier for social media, because for YouTube and Facebook,
is you get a little duck in the corner like that. That's the difference between a paid version and the non-paid version, and that's it basically.
And then also being able to see the comments and things like that for this 100%. Aspect makes a big difference to interaction with you guys. And also, I think the other great thing about things like StreamYard over OBS is it's way easier, like entry level, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it can be quite powerful. And then also being able to have the banners, the video, intro, outro.
So you could do all of that in a platform software. Probably is a software at that point, isn't it? So in something called OBS, which I've completely forgotten the actual name of OBS.
Just OBS.
OBS. Okay.
It's probably like open source broadcasting software.
I think that is it.
Oh, right.
Well done. And
it's free, completely free.
Yeah, completely free, and it is brilliant. A lot of people use it,
especially if you like geeking out on numbers.
Yeah, and what you can do is you can make scenes in there, and you switch between the scenes, and then you say what camera you want to come into the software, and then basically you'd output almost like the webcam stream from that into something else, and then off you go. There's plenty of people that talk about OBS online, so we're not going to get into that. So you can, Google that to your heart's content. But then after that, and it's almost where we are now. So for a very long time, we've just gone in via USB or a simplified version of what we've got now.
The capture card was
a capture
game
card.
changing for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. And we had to get that. So it's just if I pick this up, is it going to break?
I don't know, it's already broken.
Oh, okay. So better leave it then. Better leave it. Which is just a smaller version of what you're seeing.
Basically, like a small Nokia.
Yeah.
3310. Other phones are available, but it's like this big.
But you don't need to do that now, do you? Because
you've got like a modern.
Yeah, modern sort of thing. You can just go through USB using the USB software.
The great thing about it, the capture card, is that it takes some of the processing power away from your computer. It can turn older cameras that you might not use anymore into one. You can also put like a computer signal in that way. And in reality, you could actually get a very cheap HDMI switcher for like 10 or 20 quid. And you could do what this is doing.
Yeah.
But you'd have like breaking feeds and nasty noises and that sort of stuff.
Lots of stuff going on.
So, but it works. A capture card is great as well if you're into streaming like games or if you wanted to show what you were doing on your computer or whatever. So there is that benefit. But then moving up to like this, which we've just done, and not quite sure why it stopped working.
Yeah, I kind of feel that I might need to get up and maybe just move camera one just to show.
Well, no, like I don't know if the I'm not going to pull out the USB-C because that will definitely break it.
Oh no! Oh, did it freeze then?
No, I don't think so. We're still learning about this, so we'll see.
Yeah. So moving up to something like, and this is the DJI.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Blackmagic.
Blackmagic.
Blackmagic. Atom. Mini.
Atom.
Atom. And yeah, basically it will enable us to run 4 different types of input at once. And we were going to show you through obviously our setup here, but it has decided not to work for us, which is just part of going live sometimes. So, but essentially
Like
we
being
can
late.
take in, like being late as well. So, it will take multi-signals and then we can switch in between different ones. So you can have things like, there is a camera just here. It took us an awful long time to put on a pole to make sure it was secure. It's why we're late. And we can't even use it. And then we've got another.
But you could spin this monitor around.
I could, I guess. That's. I don't want to break anything.
Yeah.
Maybe if I just do that. So not that you can
upside
see
down
it,
and now there's glare.
But we can monitor things that are going on as well. So which is another thing that we've sort of recently acquired. So we can just keep an eye on things like our audio levels. So yeah, it really does improve it, and this gives us the option to sort of go forward and hopefully do a lot more as we start coming out of lockdown.
Exactly. And I think the other great thing about this is the fact that with the audio, taking it in, you get more control, you get equalizers, compressors, limiters, all this good stuff. You can change the color of each of the cameras to match them up if you've got different cameras. So there is like you can, ride the fader. Ride the fader. Yeah, I don't know why it tickles me. So when you do live audio, you normally would have like proper full-on mixing desks, and they have sliders or faders to control it. Like you'll have seen it on what's the word, like documentaries about music and things like that, or behind the scenes.
And they're like that.
Yeah, exactly. And also on digital ones or very fancy ones, you can have presets, so they'll all move
that's cool.
like to whatever song's next, and it will change your microphone versus my microphone and the equalizer and all that sort of good stuff. So the next step for us is to be able to have a mixer, run the microphones through the mixer into here, and be able to move the faders mechanically rather than going into the back software or using the buttons on here.
And I think we're probably going to probably divert where we're going to start learning as well. So obviously, I don't know, maybe. I think you already know all the audio stuff. You just know what you need. But obviously, we want to improve the audio, like you said, putting in things like riding the
faders.
Riding the faders. But then also wanting to improve the visual experience as well. So, how far can we get the cameras away? There's only a certain amount of range that you can put on a HDMI cable, which we've recently found out. There's only a certain amount that you can put on an Ethernet cable before it runs out.
Very frustrating.
And to find out how long a SDI cable runs for, tune in next week. So it's and I don't know. Do you find it frustrating going through these little things, or a little bit enjoyable?
I love the problem solving.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It has been.
I'd like it to work.
Yeah, I think
like this annoying me right now that it's not working. All this effort to have like an overhead and an ultra wide.
It really was. So I'm really tempted to just go to camera one and just tip it up to there to just to prove. Just to prove to people. No, because we did show it at the very beginning for like a second, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So, so it's improving sort of all the time is what we want to do. It is part of, sort of performing. That was your ping, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and that's what we'll keep doing, and hopefully we'll get better and better.
So in like 6 months' time, we'll have like FX7s. SS7s
just to do an hour sort of.
We'll be shooting in 4K.
Why not?
In 4K. Our internet will cry.
Yeah.
When we get fiber to the the premises.
Oh
And
yeah,
we can have like 1 gig.
that's when we'll start streaming properly.
Yeah. Just gonna have a full-on orchestra in here.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Every time you make a funny, we'll go.
Well, you might as well send that band home straight away, eh, Joel? That's never going to work, is it? Should we go to the comments before we wrap up this episode?
I want to know why this is not working.
Yeah, well, we'll be here forever.
Okay,
We can problem solve live.
Yeah, we could.
Okay, if anyone wants to see that.
Yeah,
no, because we'll probably need to plug it in and out again, won't we?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I'll tell you what, we'll end the show on that, or it might not be the end.
Yeah.
We're going to try and break it.
You'll just hear Paul swearing at the thing. Yeah. Right, moving on. So Stuart says, do you still have the second-hand D810S in, or D810, sorry, in? If so, can you tell me why I don't need to come and look at them as a 7100 upgrade? Don't worry if you don't want to chat now. We'll bell you next week. Now, you just need to get a D810.
Yeah, I mean...
it's a big step up. If
there
you've
is
got the
big
lenses.
Yeah, I think one thing that you need to look at is are your lenses going to be good enough to go on an 810? Because it is an absolute machine. If that's a no, then you need to bear in mind that you're going to be upgrading your lenses as well as a thing. And realistically, you just need to make sure that that's a viable thing that you can do as well, because it's going to start getting expensive.
The problem is you can get a D810, fantastic camera.
Yeah.
If you're using not very good lenses on it because it's designed for very good glass, then you've just spent some money on a more expensive, better camera. It's not the quality won't be evident. If
whatever the upgrade value is, I reckon you could buy in accessories and lens upgrades and get so much more sort of out, because the 7100
that's still a great camera.
It's still a fantastic camera. And don't rule out something like the 7500. And then you're staying on a very sensible crop factor as well. Yeah. So, but ultimately, if you feel yourself feeling the need for full frame, then
the need for speed,
the need for that quality, it is nice. But it does come with warnings, because it does get expensive.
It's just moving
heavy,
up. Yeah, it's like getting a more expensive car. Like, you're going from
you used a car now,
okay, then.
And you've used food.
Okay, boats. Right. If you want a bigger boat, you're going to have to pay more in mooring fees. You have to pay more in anti-fouling paint. Yeah. You're going to have to pay more in fuel. Yeah. You're going to have to pay more when you have to get a sail repaired or a new sail. You're going to have to pay more for rigging, more for sheets. Those are ropes on a boat related to the sails.
You've done quite well on.
So when you go bigger, you're going to have to spend more because
there's more to look after, basically. And that's the thing about going
to this from the capture card meant we had to buy cables. We've got another camera. We already had the camera. Yeah. But adding things means you have to spend a bit more to make it viable and work the way you want it to.
So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. So,
if not, give us a bell anyway, and we'll happily help you.
Happily talk you through it.
So Steve says, afternoon, guys. Great to see you start the weekend on the high. Thank you. Good to see you too. Nick Cam says, excellent production. So there we go. One person thinks we're doing an all right job of our production.
We're doing all right.
And Steve says, hi, Sarah. Hope you're better now. She is doing somewhat better.
Yeah.
She's still very tired. So Tina says, lol, kind of. I'm trying to remember what that would even relate to, but there we go. And David. Hello, David.
Good to see you this week.
He hasn't told us no yet, so that's quite good.
That is a massive improvement.
He's just going to do it anyway now, isn't it?
Unless he's saving it.
He'll get to the end and go, you're all wrong.
If you read all the comments, that's what it is.
If you use a DJI gimbal, you can move the camera using your phone. No getting out of chairs. That's very true. But you definitely have to spend a bit more money on that. But it's very clever.
That is for. I've got a thing for next week.
Oh dear, you want to put it on the?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Tina says, "Sorry guys, I'm having internet issues. You keep freezing. Well, hopefully it's you and not us.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible. Yeah. Hope your internet's working again soon.
Yeah. Yeah. We hope you're all right. We need a win right now. Yeah. So we're just hoping it's your end. Sorry. Yeah. That's brilliant. Well, I think we're there, Joel.
Do you think so? Are we going to say goodbye and then?
Yeah, we're going to do our normal thing, and then this might be the extra section. So everyone can log out, and then we're just going to maybe push a couple of buttons and see what happens.
And you could just, or you could sit in the comments going, not that one, not that one.
Yeah,
that one.
Anything like that.
Oh,
so,
it's gone horrible.
Joel, any final thoughts for the end of this week before we break up for the weekend?
Always be ready for things not to work.
Yes.
And laugh about it, otherwise you'll cry about it.
Yeah, indeed. So, or
that's Paul and I in a minute go.
What are the chances? Yeah, no, brilliant. It's good advice, Joel. Thank you very much. So, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Every week. So brilliant. And big thank you to everyone watching at home as well. So this wouldn't be possible without you. So the only reason why we do
pointless, to be honest.
It would be. So big thank you for tuning in live. If you have tuned in live, you can always rewatch this video at any time on our Facebook and YouTube channels. If you want to see more of these videos, then you can search under the hashtag Photography Out Loud. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to our channels as well. Likey, subscribe.
Sherry.
And well, we won't see you next week because we're going to push some buttons now. So, but bye for now. And we're just going to see what happens over here now. So, right, Joel.
Cheers. Bye now.
That's.
I don't know why this is not working properly.
Shall I just try pushing this button and see what happens? It is proper gone, hasn't it, as well? Oh.
No, so, right, we're on 3 at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah.
Cool, that's very warm.
So we're a black screen, but people might still be hearing us.
Oh, that's the wide shot.
Oh, that's the wide. Anyone still watching, we're on wide. Well, at least it hasn't, that hasn't overheated. This is top quality entertainment. This is black screen.
Maybe it needs tapping.
I'll give it. Yeah, but is this working though? No, it's not, is it? So that is completely frozen.
Yeah.
Except for that button. None of these are working. So it is just completely.
Pull that one out.
Hello. Right.
Choose the camera and then choose.
Wasn't expecting that.
There you go.
There we go. Right. And is that audio working as well? Yeah, I think so. I think we're back.
Ooh. What's that one?
What's free? Hold on, I'll go and tap
this
it.
one, wasn't it?
I think so.
3, this one. 3 was the one in front of us. Because 1 is the overhead. So 3 is this one in front of us.
Back up.
Hey,
there we go.
Look, it works. So that was the overhead shot we worked on. And if you go to number 2, you can see this bar going across here. The camera hanging down, and we've got cable running all the way down. And apparently, the Black Magic just wanted to freeze, and you unplug it, plug it back in, and it works again.
So I think we will.
Let's try. That's working.
Why are still people watching this? We're going to edit this. This is.
The audio wasn't on, so there wouldn't be a. That's
all right then.
So we've got it working. Can you hear us? Put in the comments if you can still hear us.
Yeah, or if you're still watching. So,
that works.
I was just saying, Joel, that this is like this is an online. This is an on live only. Oh, that's good, isn't it? That we can do that. but that's only
There's
on.
only one.
Yeah, because it's only on channel.
That's all I do.
That's all your audio. What's that, Ave? Yeah, I think it will only put in the bottom what's on
Number one.
on one. So
Let's show this one.
and then you can push lots of, and that's gone out of focus now. So oh, they're my type of fades.
We can go this way.
Right, we'll do another little ending, Joel, because we're nearly there.
Ooh. What's this one?
Oh no!
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh no!
That's the one.
Oh, that is horrible.
That's amazing. What's the dip one?
Ooh, that's not. Can you do black though?
I don't know. Or we can do a mix. Oh, it went to a cut. Interesting. Right, let's stop using that. We'll use this one. There we go. Back to normal.
Why are we still screaming?
What's oh. That's cool. We can go fade to black as well.
Fade to.
We can go back up again. That's very cool.
Okay, right. Say goodbye, Joel.
Should we do like a wide goodbye?
To that camera over there. Right. So if you've tuned in for this very special,
basically,
we fixed it.
like everything else in life, turn it off and turn it back on again, and it'll be fine.
So the thing that we've learned today is that if you are using something like StreamYard, prep a little slide that says something on it. We experienced technical difficulties, and then you can just unplug it, plug it back in, boom, you're done. So, right, thank you very much for watching this extra weird portion of Photography Out Loud. We'll be definitely deleting it off the video.
Okay.
This little bit, so you know where we say bye.
Yeah.
Like we're not keeping this bit on. Okay. So this is just for
Can
that.
we add it as a blooper reel.
Just for that one viewer, whoever's hanging on.
Whoever's hanging on.
Right. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Oh, no, because I haven't done the end video, have I? That's what I should have done. I should have done the end video.
That's
and
why it didn't
then
feel like it cut off properly, isn't it?
Right, okay. I'm still going to do the end video.
Okay. I'll do fade to black. Like that. I wonder why I did that.
I think it's just a thing, mate. I was still live streaming, by the way.